Now call to order the City Council meeting of October 2025 at 7 p.m. Tonight's opening prayer will be delivered by Reverend.
Yep.
Reverend, if we could have just a moment of silence for Anita Cardwell, who passed this week, and she has been a member of our dispatch team for many, many, many years and passed away. So if we could have a moment of silence. Thank you, and thank you for all that she has done for our city over the past years. And now, if you would.
Let us pray. Gracious God, please help us pause from our busy day for a moment to say thank you. Thank you for the beautiful day that you've given us to enjoy. Thank you for Anita and all the work that she has done for our city. Thank you for the way that you work in each of our lives, for the times we recognize you at work and the times that go by quickly without us realizing you were at work. Thank you for all the people in this room, for the mayor and the council members and the administration and support staff that work hard for the benefit and improvement of our community and its citizens. Thank you for our first responders and our maintenance and utility crews who work tirelessly to take care of us and keep us safe each and every day. And thank you for all the members of our community who come to share their ideas and their wisdom in an effort to make our community even stronger. And now, God, we ask that you be with us this evening. Help us to feel your presence and hear your voice as we discern how to make a better tomorrow for all of the residents and businesses of North Canton. Help us to do our part to listen, cooperate, and encourage each other for the benefit of our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
William, will you please call roll?
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Matheny? Here. Member Warren?
Here.
Member Peters?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
7 present.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve as presented the minutes from the September 15th, 2025 Committee of the Whole and September 22nd, 2025 City Council meetings and the Q3 2025 Finance Report?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's approved. We don't have anybody for the first speaker portion of this meeting, but I would love for Chief Cap to give a recap of what happened Thursday, and thank you to the other first responders for being here, and thank you. Please.
President, Council, not a complete actual recap in the
Yes.
sense of we put our press release out there. I'd like to give my kudos to Community Buzzard who interacted with the press on scene to keep our community informed and updated as we could during the unfolding of the event. These are just some of my thoughts on this. Randy Priest will be speaking on behalf of the Communication Center, Dispatch Center, and the fire chief will be speaking on behalf of the fire personnel that were there. Last week, our community faced a sudden and hugely unsettling event. Many of you have likely seen portions of our media release or the video footage that we put out. What began as a call for medical assistance at an apartment in Versailles Gardens was quickly identified as an active shooter incident. The quietness we're accustomed to was shattered, and our safety forces responded with urgency and professionalism. We want to extend our deepest thanks to all the responding agencies, local, state, and federal. Some of those included Canton Regional SWAT, which is comprised of officers from many of the agencies within Stark County and adjacent counties. Canton Police Department, Stark County Sheriff, Jackson Township Police, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, FBI, ATF, and U.S. Marshals. I apologize for any of those that I had not specifically mentioned, but we were supported by local counties adjacent to us as well. They all came to our aid when we called for help. Their swift and coordinated response was nothing short of extraordinary. We also utilized our city departments. Can't leave them out. And we drafted them to help us set up the furthest perimeters to maintain a safe area for the public. Every day, our officers put on their guns and badges and go to work. We calmly say, this is what we do. On that day, we rose to the level of our training. During the event, our police and fire personnel demonstrated true heroism. While shots were being fired by the suspect, the first victim was evacuated swiftly and transported for further medical care. These actions were guided by training, instinct, and courage. From the moment the call came in to our dispatch center, our safety forces mobilized. Responding officers quickly requested backup, prompting communication with our dispatch center to activate mutual aid. Chief 2 established an initial command post, which transitioned into our staging area. Major Buzzer responding on scene and initially coordinated incoming units and managed the press communications. I responded to the area where Chief 1 was located, and we got the drone in the air. We secured the northern perimeter, and we checked to make sure what elements we were missing, making sure we notified all the nursing homes in the area, getting information out to the businesses. A note of point, anybody that in our community that wants to be notified of things that are going on within the community, please go to the city website and sign up for city alerts. Our administration staff was critical in taking my communication with them and pushing that information out to the community. I apologize, but during an incident like this, our communication center does not have time to contact each and every business that asks. So we have a resource for that. Shortly after we got the drone in the air, our mobile community arrived on scene and was deployed. Drone operations were moved to that location. All of this demonstrating the strength of our training and preparedness. As we look at it, this briefing is just a snapshot. In the coming weeks, internally, we'll self-evaluate our response, recognize the heroic acts witnessed, and identify areas for further training and planning. As the chief of police, I am proud of the combined coordination of everyone on the scene. So in closing, we ask that you keep the victim and her family in your prayers. She has come through surgeries and is recovering. Thank you again to everyone who played a role. This includes the greater community that was praying for our safety. But on the wings of angels is how we made it through there without any further injury. We are proud of our team, grateful to our partners, and committed to learning and growing from this tragic event. Thank you.
I'll just recap what Chief Kemp said a little bit of from the dispatch side. My name is Randy Freese. I'm the public safety analyst. I oversee dispatch. So on the morning of October 9th, the communications center played a vital role in managing a rapidly unfolding active shooter situation. The incident began as a 911 call reporting a medical emergency. The caller was difficult to understand, but the dispatcher remained calm and focused, working to gather critical information. Less than 2 minutes later, while that same dispatcher was still on the phone, the other dispatcher received a second call reporting possible shots fired in the same area. Right away, the dispatchers thought, is this related? So they relayed to an officer who was already responding because of the difficulty in getting the information from the medical call that there's a report of shots fired in the area. And additional units were sent to the area because of the shots being fired. So the continued communication with the original caller revealed that the individual had suffered a gunshot wound. Officers on the scene confirmed that shots were actively being fired from an unknown location. So we didn't know where this was coming from. So we didn't really know where to send the safety forces to be safe. But we quickly got on mutual aid, made contact with Stark County and Canton, and activated the SWAT team, and also reached out to Jackson Township to provide more resources in case we did have multiple injuries. And every communication center we reach out to, it was a smooth transaction with them. Everything went the way it should, and thankfully everything worked out. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy. Members of the North Canton Safety Services were called to action, all responded, did their job under the extreme circumstances. All of them, being humble, would tell you they were just doing their job. But I must commend them, every one of them. They could have frozen in fear or ran to save their own lives, but they didn't. They stayed. They chose to put themselves in harm's way. They chose to enter, and they did what they were called to do. And as a result, they were able to get multiple people to safety and were able to save a life. Both police and fire worked together, looking out for one another, as God looked out for them, and good things happened in a place where evil was present. In extreme conditions, your mind relies on past experiences that have positive outcomes to guide your decision-making for the current situation in order to achieve another positive outcome. Many of these men have not had the real-life experience to fall back on and guide their decisions during these events. What they did have was their training. They participated in active threat trainings, which helped build the experience needed for them to make a solid decision and perform under extreme stress. We trained for low frequency, high risk events to learn and make mistakes in order to make us better and teach us to find ways to adapt and overcome, which was truly demonstrated during these events. They never gave up, and when the situation changed, they found ways to keep going to save and protect those who needed us. I would like to thank, commend the dispatchers of the North Canton Communication Centers, not knowing what was going on and being able to figure that out, and staying calm, gathering the information, passing along, all while getting all the resources we needed. They were overwhelmed and they stepped out and stayed calm. I'd also like to commend my first arriving crews and the heroic actions they did take to save a life and get others to safety. They also arrived not knowing fully what they were responding to and began treating a patient with multiple gunshot wounds and then taking fire. I thank the officers for their heroism in keeping my crew safe along with themselves. Being Eli's shield, obviously not by their choice, and getting them and the patient out. I'd also like to appreciate all the members on duty, off duty, who came in as soon as they heard what was happening, which showed their dedication. All those who were asked to leave, and those who were asked to leave training at Stark State to help assist. I had a few over there doing some training, called them, and they were there right away. I would like to thank some of our mutual aid partners and other assisting agencies. The following fire departments: Jackson Township, Plain Township, Greentown, Canton, Unitown, Hartville, Canton Township Alliance, and Mansland. Government agencies include Stark County IMAT team, the Stark County EMA. They stood up the EOC out of the sheriff's office. Some assistance from the state EMA also, from Red Cross. Marathon Oil for being on standby with some of their equipment and some resources. Also Acme and Donato's, because we need to eat, and we went in to get water and they supplied it all. Donato's supplied the food. We do appreciate that. We also had big thanks to our departments here in the city. When needed, no questions asked. Streets, sewers, parks, water, whoever they were, stepped up, dropped what they're doing, and help us. I'd also like to thank Canton and Starcom, Red Center. I think Brown touched a little more on that. But they did an amazing job working with our dispatch center to make this happen. We were on multiple calls prior to this event and leaving only one crew available to respond. And with also getting 4 calls during the event, we couldn't have accomplished this without the outstanding staff of the North Canton Fire Department and the departments who came when we needed them to assist in caring for our community. And those would be the people I mentioned from the other departments. I'd like to thank the community for their support, as many have reached out with their thanks and their prayers. Before I turn it over to Brian, having a strong leader with you is key. Assistant Chief Scheffler did an amazing job. Due to the circumstances and the many roles we were all playing, and trying to fill out to accomplish what we needed to, had to make the choice to turn over to command for him. due to the position he was in, and he took a command role working with dispatch to obtain all the resources needed and put in place the components needed to run an MCI. If we had more patients, we were ready for him. Everything was in place. He continued in this important role after Unified Command was established with me, myself, and Chief Kemp. I'd like to really thank you. You did a great job.
I'll keep this real short. So my whole role in this incident was just to be ready in case we had more victims. We knew we had the one. It's a large apartment complex. We didn't know if we had other victims at all. So Randy really downplayed what the dispatch center did because we had only one of our ambulances in service at the time. The other two were at the hospital, one being in Akron and Akron Children's. So we had at one point 10 ambulances on standby in the parking lot of St. Luke's. Couldn't have done it without them. He stepped in himself, got on the radio, gave him some extra hands. They had a dispatcher come in off duty to help them out as well. They contacted at least 3 different dispatch centers, multiple state agencies, which is different phone calls on top of that. They called different businesses around the city to put them on lockdown, nursing homes, schools. Our SROs, you guys want to touch on that? Put the schools on lockdown. It was just a big team effort, and we never want this to happen, but we were prepared for whatever happened after our initial response. So, thank you, Ray, and thank you to the police department for having our backs on that.
All right, I guess I'm good.
Were you on TV? Were you the famous one on TV? Right.
No, I guess I'll close it out. Obviously, you could echo everything they say. Yes, our SROs did a great job too, put all the schools on lockdown. We've really come a long way with these events, and unfortunately, as they keep coming up, we keep taking them as they come. I do want to take a moment, I know we mentioned Eli, I want to go ahead and name the officers that were involved that day. The names are gonna come out, we're gonna award them, obviously rightly so. So, one of the first responding officers, Officer Adam Kanam, he's been with us since 2016, former SWAT member, great guy to have at the call. We had Officer Mike Bolts, he's been here just shy of 4 decades. I think he's had 30, actually he's over 40 years, count all his auxiliary time. He's been here a really long time. He was also an SRT member way back in the day, the DARE officer. Him and Adam were the first two on scene, and then the body cam that got released was from Sergeant Cody Dollinger. And Cody Dollinger is a former SWAT guy, former breacher on the SWAT team. Him and I came in together. It was great. I was the mouthpiece. He was 6'5", 275 like he is now. If you didn't do what I say, he was going to bend you to the pretzel. So he's the guy who tore the window out of the wall.
Yeah.
Exactly the kind of guy you wanted a scene like that. I got many phone calls. I was off over the weekend, was out of town. I got many phone calls from lieutenants in Hudson to officers in Columbus going, I don't know who that guy was, but that's the guy I want in the foxhole. And I've taught leadership before at the training academy. All I have to do is hit play because that's what it looks like. He did a great job taking over that scene and getting everyone out into safety. And obviously, Eli Bosler was one of our medics in there, did a fantastic job. So the current situation, I believe, is BCI is investigating.
BCI was instrumental in helping our detectives gather the evidence from the scene. There was a lot.
Yeah.
And without their assistance, we would have been there for days, probably, collecting everything.
We'd still do it.
BCI did short work of it and provided us everything we need for the case. Bureau of Criminal Investigations, what BCI is.
Yep. So that's where we stand right now. Obviously, in the near future, we will do something more appropriate and really show those officers and medics our appreciation. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. while we appreciate the applause, just know that we are not, we're here as the mouthpieces, and we were not the boots on the ground that day. But we greatly appreciate it, but save that for our other guys, because they're the ones who really do it.
Accolades go to the officers, firefighters, medics that were there.
Take this appreciation back to them.
Right, right. Well, thank you for being here and taking the time tonight, and I know we wanted to do something for you, and we know that in your own way, each of your departments will recognize the individuals, and we know you say it's in the line of work, but there were extraordinary circumstances that the leadership that you showed, when you talk about how you came in and that you was able to do that, but that's from the top down. You know, that's from communication, that's from knowing your people. And the fact that you all kept everybody calm and together and were able to lead everybody else in such a systematic and refined approach is amazing. And that starts with you all. And that's why you were able to accomplish what you did. So truly thank you. And thank you for being here tonight. And please give our sincere thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Give one more round of applause. For our seats, thank you for pausing and showing your respect to our service.
We kick the one on.
To sit down. What school are you here from? Hoover. Oh, nice to have you. Okay, on to the meeting. Liam, will you please read the title of resolution 54-2025?
Resolution declaring City Council support for the Ohio Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial.
Okay, it is exactly as it says. We are able to be a part of the party, and they want us to be a part of the party, and we will get notifications and different things from the state recognizing this event. Is there a motion to adopt the first reading of resolution 54-2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Yeah, all right. Liam, will you please read the title of ordinance 55-2025?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Canton to enter into a contract for professional auction services for the sale of vehicles and equipment that are obsolete or unfit for public use or not needed for municipal purposes and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Peters?
Thank you. Clearing out old inventory. I hear some good deals. Nothing further to add. Motion to adopt the first reading.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Is there a motion to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Is there a motion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And lastly, is there a motion to adopt ordinance 55-2025 under suspension of the rules?
Motion to adopt under suspension.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Liam, will you please read the title of resolution 56-2025?
A resolution to acknowledge the rates and fees utilized to establish the budget for the 2026 fiscal year.
Okay, it's the first of 3 here we have regarding the budget. Any questions from council? Anybody in the audience? Yeah, first of 3 readings, so you have 2 slides. Is there a motion to adopt first reading resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion approved. Liam, will you please read the title of ordinance 57-2025?
An ordinance amending various provisions of Chapter 155 Personnel Regulations of the Codified Ordinances of the City of North Canton to modify various personnel rules and regulations and the titles and compensation levels of certain personnel effective January 1st, 2026.
All right, this is the chapter as it relates to exempt employees. Any questions from council? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance 57?
Motion to adopt 57-2025, first reading.
Is there a
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Liam, will you please read the title of ordinance 58-2025?
Ordinance authorizing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures, temporary advances, and one-time permanent transfers of monies made to various funds for the period beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026.
All right, same applies as to the previous 2. Any questions? Not, is there a motion to adopt first reading ordinance 5825?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Liam, will you please read the title of ordinance 59-2025?
An ordinance amending Chapter 140, Department of Development Services of the codified ordinances of the City of North Canton in order to clarify the title of Director of Permits and Development Services.
As Liam stated, this is updating that title to Director of Permits and Development Services. Any questions from council? Is there a motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance 59-2025?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Liam, will you please read the preamble for the recognition of the public? We only have one person.
At this time, members of the public who have signed up to address City Council will be called to do so. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. Speakers shall be called in the order they signed up. During this section, comments shall be limited to items reasonably under the city's authority. The rules for speaking and the speaker's time will appear on the screens. After you finish speaking, please remain at the podium to answer questions from the officials at the dais. This will serve as the final warning for all speakers. Any violation of the rules will result in ejection from the premises.
Mr. Patterson, you are our first and last speaker tonight.
Here. Hey, everybody. Pat Patterson, 1754th Street, Clover Falls. A couple things I want to talk about. Number one, our next community walk coming up Sunday morning, 8 a.m. We're going to meet again over here at the west lot of Price Park. And we're going to go about 3 miles. Hopefully the trees finally change colors and we're not walking around in mid-October looking at green trees. I don't know if any of you have ever walked over in Price Park during the season. So hopefully it brings more trees. The other thing I want to talk about, and Chief Canton, is I want to talk about homeless food. And one of the things that, unfortunately was left out of the budget was some of the care for homeless. And, thankfully, a couple of generous donors stepped forward and assisted in this care. And I'm not 100% sure what happened, but long story short, the t-shirts are available from the police department, $20. And I know he's got a wide range of sizes. I was going to ask him to fill in some blanks, but he vanished on me. But I guess the big thing is if you can catch him in the office, I'm sure he'd be willing to take the $20. I was going to invite him to come to the community walk. Any of the community walks that I have, bring the shirts with him. With that, I'm prepared to be grilled.
See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. Be there. Or. Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Pat. On department reports. Mayor Story, do you want to start or?
Sure, I
Okay.
can start. I just want to say, thank God for fire, police, EMS, and dispatch and leadership from all those departments. What we witnessed is definitely heroism, but it was teamwork. And that is the definition of teamwork, in my opinion, how they came together. And yeah, I'm amazed by that. It's absolutely incredible. But we'll recognize them under their own terms coming up here soon. As much as we wanted to, we need to do that under their own terms. We went to the Ohio Municipal League conference, and I thought it went well. Some different things that other communities are doing, and I think that's important to keep in touch and see what, kind of keep a pulse on what other communities are doing, and that helped. And then I'll see everybody maybe at the community walk on Sunday. That's all I've got.
Oh, thank you. Director of Administration.
Thank you, Madam President. I will echo everything Matt said. Our first responders, top notch. So that absolutely echo all the sentiments. Also echoing the Ohio Municipal League Conference was wonderful. We had great speakers from the National League of Cities, giving us a lot of resources available to communities, grant information, just additional information to strengthen local municipal leadership. So that was great. A lot of good exhibitors there. They have more information on the American 250, which we're going to be part of. So that was good to get a little more contact information. That's where we meet a lot of vendors, you know, like when we're looking at things, OpenGov, I think even maybe MuniReg when we switched away from Civic, you know, our app architect was there that's doing our fire station. I mean, that brings all of anything municipalities need, and the exhibitors are there. So that's, and the networking, like Matt Mayor said, was that meeting with other cities and to network with them is so valuable. I'm going to give you also tonight West Maple update. Seemed like we went to Columbus, we came back, and Rob got it all done. Almost all done, not yet, but just to give you the, you know, oh, you've probably seen it. It milled on Thursday, 2¼ inches of intermediate course of asphalt. On Friday, about a 3/4 inch of polymer surface asphalt going down. Saturday, North Star adjusted one water valve and one manhole to the grade this morning. Rob just left this just a couple hours ago. They were waiting on the striping subcontractor, and then as I came down, I saw the stripe that they were starting to set up. That's the striping subcontract this evening. We'll lay out all the striping. And he wasn't sure if they're just going to get the temporary paint tonight or see if they'll continue to work through to get the final thermoplastic markings. Total, again, that contract amount on that project was $253,940, well under budget. We're going to be somewhere around 240 with the grant covering 90%. So again, kudos to our engineer, getting another great project done.
Will they do, I thought they were gonna do the rest of it?
Next year. This year is Maine to Lindy, and then next year will be Lindy to Whipple. So speaking of projects, if you drove down Woodrow today, Jamie, you'll see the trees are going in. I mean, I was there early this morning. I don't know how many got in. I saw them, the holes were dug and many of them were laying beside. So if they just kept going, they may all be in. If not, I'm sure they're going to finish that up tomorrow. So that'll get phase 2 of the Woodrow restoration. The sidewalks were last year. They look great. The first phase of the trees were done. That looks great. And this will finish that up.
Was that any part of a grant as well?
Rob, yes, with the sidewalks last year, yeah. And that is why, that was the big controversy.
Right.
Why did you take the trees out? We had to take trees, we had to take what caused the problem.
Yes.
The previous trees upheaved the sidewalks, we had to remove them. And then it was so bare that we decided to streetscape that beautiful street. So I hope everybody's happy with that. Jamie will let me know, I'm sure, if anybody has anything to say. Speaking of projects, people have been seeing what's happening at Price Park. Seems like there is some confusion on that. That was $300,000 capital award grant that we received for ADA accessibility around the pond, creating a better, more accessible pathways. There was no pathway off the pond over to the playground. We had to go back through the parking lot. So extending that. Also, that pavilion was built almost 40 years ago by Mr. Brian Hill in 1986. I actually have a picture of him in the repository with I think it was Sumser at that time. And young Brian Hill built that, and here 40 years later, he's rebuilding it. So it got a lot of wear. We got our money's worth, but it was showing the wear. So we're also making that wider, more accessible, better seating, and additional seating. So that project is happening. Some people have confused it with the master plan and saying, well, we haven't even finished a master plan, and why are we doing these projects? And true, master plan has, where it is right now is they just closed the survey, so they've got the data. Next, we'll go into stakeholder meetings. There's significant stakeholders in the community that we work with. So there's still a whole process through this. It's too premature to say that there's been decisions made and there are things happening in the parks. That's not true. So we will update the community and we'll involve the community more with even more stakeholder, meetings and engagements. So that is all I have for now.
Great report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Director, any report?
Yeah, just a few things. First, I wanted to say Brian's held up a lot better than that structure. So, I wanted to give Liam a shout out. Catherine and the mayor mentioned the Ohio Municipal League. Liam was one of the presenters there. He did a wonderful job. He would have given you all a lot to be proud of. And it was really cool to see our city showcased as a leader. He talked about, he could go into a lot more detail, but he talked about our online permitting system and how that came about and some of the benefits that it's brought to all of us. So he did a great job down there, a lot to be proud of. I just wanted to echo too what was said about our safety forces. I had an opportunity over the weekend to watch some of the footage. I was very impressed. I wasn't surprised, but I was impressed by the professionalism and the bravery of all the responders. And it was a really good reminder to me to every day seems like a normal day until it's not. And it was a reminder that for our safety forces, police, fire, EMS, and dispatch, it's an abnormal day for somebody every day that they take a call, and for some people, it's the worst day of their life. So I just wanted to again give our officers and our fire and EMS personnel a shout out. It was really a wonderful job that they did.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Director of Finance. Deputy Director.
So talking about auction, the auction scheduled then for November 19th. Some of the items are case backhoe, case skid steer, old police interceptor, force for one of the street department's dump trucks. So it's just a couple of the items, a lot of like office things. So, and then we'll do a quarterly report here. Start with utilities, and just start with utilities. Our customers are up 27 individuals. Water sales, agreements up, bulk water's up $101,000. You notice that bulk water is down for the year, and we attribute that to one of the big users not this year. Auto pay customers are up 317 individuals reported in the bill versus the quarter of 2025. Paperless customers are also up by 86, which is great news. We'll do general fund. General fund revenues are up by $890,000. Attribute that to about $600,000 in interest. Vacant building is up 45,000, dispatch services is up 50,000, the property taxes are up by 300.
Board members. Do you have any idea why we're up so many in water customers?
We do have a new block.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just seemed like a good number, and I'm trying to think about helping and.
Stay longer.
Right. Take them. Right. Okay. Councilor Clerk William, thank you again for being so stellar at the meeting this weekend. I had wished him good luck right beforehand and got a report immediately following, and they said you did an excellent job. So thank you for representing.
Yeah,
Pictures of you.
I will talk about that in a second. I just want to take a moment. Again, same as everybody else, thank you to our first responders. And as Chief Kemp mentioned, you can sign up for our city alerts to stay up to date. I just want to take a minute to kind of demo that for everybody. So here is the city's website. So right on our main page, subscribe for updates.
Very easy.
So open this, very easy. You can get text or email notifications. And you're going to look down. One, you can sign up for our city council updates while you're here. But we do have our city alerts. So this covers all of our time sensitive things, all your basic interruptions and everything, as well as things like water main breaks, and even important road closures, stuff like that. So it's very easy to sign up. You can click which method you'd like, whether you want text messages or emails or both. And this is the best way to stay up to date on everything.
Thank you, great reminder.
Absolutely. So now on to my presentation at OML. I'm not going to give it to you guys all here. It took about an hour, so I'll save you the time. So just kind of high level. So I was invited by OML to present lessons from online permitting. So as you guys know, in 2024, we rolled out a platform with OpenGov for all of our online permitting and licensing. We had a lot of success in 2024. We're doing very good in 2025. We've got all the kinks ironed out. So my presentation was directed to city governments that are looking to implement an online permitting software, the kind of things that they should be looking for in a good program, some of the helpful tips and tricks in how to implement that, what they should be doing as they're building out their records, and as well as some of the pitfalls that they should avoid, just to avoid getting too into the weeds on certain things. And then I also explained to them how to use good data. So a lot of those systems will give them good quality data. And it's a lot of stuff that we do internally to make good decisions and present those to you guys through Microsoft Power BI and getting all of that good data together. We had about 40 people in the session, and then I've had quite a few people emailing me afterwards, one for the slides, but two to possibly set up, opportunities to meet, to share a little bit more in depth about our story, and to go over our site more individually. So we are really leading the charge on the digitization. The lion's share of cities, I would say, are probably still on paper, especially a lot of smaller cities. So if we're able to inspire people to go online and implement a 21st century approach to everything to make their citizens' lives better, it's great to be a part of that. And then the last thing that I have is I just wanted to give a shout out. I'm sure she's watching at home. We have a new intern that started with us in the administration and council's office. Her name is Alicia Khatri. She's a student at Walsh University and is an international student from Nepal. So she's going to be working with us. Her specialty is in data analysis, so she's going to be helping me a lot with some of the stuff that I just talked about, building out our permitting databases and being able to give you guys better information. And she, even for her first day, is very smart, very motivated. I'm very excited to have her.
To interject, Liam did a phenomenal job and posed for this picture as well. But you did a great job.
Great, well, thank you. It's nice when other cities recognize what we're doing and how we can help to make things more efficient. It's important. Okay, on to council reports.
All right, thank you. I apologize in advance because I didn't come up with a list, so I just free for the next half hour, 45 minutes. So I wanted to first touch on last Thursday. I don't want to belabor the point. I know a lot of people have shared and certainly will probably hear the rest of the evening. But I think what we witnessed last Thursday was something short of heroes at work. And my sincere thanks go to North Canton Dispatch, police officers, fire EMS, as well as the people who, the other agencies who responded to mutual aid. So thank you for keeping this community safe. So other thing I wanted to share is just some recent events that I thought were just fantastic and certainly noteworthy. Liam, I sent you a picture earlier today. Could you pull that up for me, please?
Sure can.
Okay, so the mayor said no pictures. I was obviously not going to abide by that. So big shout out to the Chamber of Commerce for the new Balloon Fest. What a great event. Couldn't ask for a better event. The weather was fantastic, and I think a lot of people in this room were going to here. So it was great to see us all out there for that. So that was pretty cool. That evening, immediately after this is a group that I don't think we really mentioned much here. I want to give a big shout out to the marching band. They had their Echoes of Excellence OMBA marching band competition. What a fantastic group. I am most certainly biased if you know my family history. Also, my daughter being in the band. But what a fantastic group. We've got one home football game left and out in the see the band. So did a great job.
They're awesome.
Also, October 2nd, I think some of us were there, Chick-fil-A. So I, for one, was shocked by seeing just how many chicken nuggets they had in their freezer. But I would like to welcome them to Ward 1 in the city of North Canton. As a reminder to some folks, this is just another piece of the puzzle up there at the old Kmart site, which is over $30 million of investment into the community. So that was certainly great to see them and definitely welcome them here. Next,
I'm going to touch on as part of utilities, fall leaf program. So I don't know if anybody's seen this, it's been out on Facebook. Just as a reminder, residents may pick up their leaf bags at lower true value down on Portage, and they can pick them up between October 18th and November 16th. Bring your water bill and get your bags. Along with leaves, and this is actually stemming from a conversation I had with a resident yesterday, I guess it was. I was out mowing my lawn, and I was asked if residents are allowed to blow their leaves into the street. At first, I thought she was thinking I was blowing my leaves in the street. I'm like, hey, I'm not done yet. But, she had seen a neighbor on an adjacent street blowing leaves into the street. And I just want to remind folks that is not permissible. One, it's bad because those leaves and grass clippings can be dangerous to motorcycles. They certainly could end up in the storm sewer, which we've seen, some flooding in past years. After confirming with Liam, it is definitely against our code, so you could end up with a code enforcement case. So go down to Boulder, get your bags, put the leaves in there, not in the street. So, lastly, I just want to touch on, Catherine, you brought it up. I actually had a phone call first thing this morning about Woodrow, so I just wanted to thank you and thank administration for their commitment to replacing those trees and helping with the streetscape. I can already see it in my mind already, even though the trees were not planted, so can't wait to check when it's done. So that is all. Thank you.
It's a great list.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Ward 2, Mr. McKinney.
All right, well, as chairperson of Personnel and Safety, I do want to make some comments about the events at Versailles Gardens Apartments. 9th. The first call came in to dispatch at 8:50 a.m. At 8:52, a separate call, gunfire. At 8:55, first officer arrived. At 9:02, the victim was found with multiple gunshot wounds. 9:06, gunfire erupted again, turning the scene into a hot zone. At 9:07, SWAT was activated. 10:46, SWAT had breached the suspect's apartment, and at 10:48, the suspect was taken into custody without incident in less than 2 hours. In the face of extreme danger, during the recent shooting in North Canton, our first responders demonstrated extraordinary courage and professionalism. Their swift actions under fire, rescuing a wounded victim and securing the scene, undoubtedly saved lives and prevented further tragedy. We commend their bravery, their coordination across agencies, and their unwavering commitment to protecting our community. North Canton is safer because of their heroism. Thank you.
Ward 3. What's up?
Yeah, I'll follow that. I would like to echo everyone up here just in thanking our first responders for their response, and also for the leaders from each of those 3 departments that came tonight, Chief Kemp, members from the fire department, dispatch. It was nice that you all got a chance to be reminded of that sense of pride that the leaders of those departments have for the individuals who work in those departments. And we really heard that in the comments tonight, and the emotional undertone just in speaking about the teams. And so it's nice that we got a chance to see that and have an opportunity to thank you. And also, as you reference, a greater opportunity in the future to thank those groups. Back to the business side a little bit. We went through the budget stuff pretty quickly tonight as we were voting, but that was one of the things we did vote on, was budget stuff for next year. And so I wanted to go backwards a little bit and thank everyone from the administration team, from finance, and the administration team as you presented to us in a previous meeting. I thought you all did a great job of presenting that. We're very transparent and the information is out there. But if you're not a finance person, or that's not your everyday world, it can be complicated and there's a lot to it, and you all know it very well. And not only did you work really well together to collaborate to develop that budget, but then in presenting it and making it clear to everyone, I thought you did a really nice job. So I wanted to thank you for that. And you, if I didn't remember, you just reminded me, Catherine, as you were speaking, I think you always do a really good job of trying to really make things clear and explain to people what's going on, kind of hitting the highlights. And so I just wanted to thank you too for that. Just the great job that you do of providing that information that everybody wants.
Yeah,
no problem.
Ward 4, Mr. Orr.
Yes. Thank you. Matt, thank you so much for the updates on Thursday. Kept us up to date. We really appreciate it. Catherine, I've seen the street sweeper
Yay.
twice last week, and I think I saw or heard it somewhere today. I moved to this city 38 years ago. Right? Being the oldest member on the council. So we bought the house next door to my in-law. We moved here for a couple of reasons. One, the schools, excellent schools. Taking up the great space, great. Two, it was a safe city. It's always been a safe city. And that's when you move into a community, you move where housing's always gonna go up. It's a safe city and the schools are great. And it's a pretty convenient where we are. We get almost any place pretty quick. The roads in the wintertime are always great. So, you know, this is a great city. I want to thank you to all the first responders who served. I think it was a total team effort. And it's not about one department being better than the other. We all come together. We showed it. We've done it in about every emergency. I've gone, that time of year, I'm out knocking and walking and talking. And the residents are pretty happy. Okay? They're happy with the city. And, you know, there's a few that will never be happy, but we know who they are. But let's just keep up the good work, because we are a good team. That's my report.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Mr. Orr. Mr. Peters.
I will echo everyone's comments. Thank you to the first responders, these men and women who choose to do a job where they run towards the goal, run into burning house. I'm in awe. And we thank you. That's it.
Ms. Wyrick.
Yeah, I just want to mention a word that's been said several times tonight, heroes. I think, you know, it's interesting. We sit up here, we set the budgets, we try to make sure that our first responders have the buildings they need and the equipment they need. And I really am just grateful that the body cam footage was released, because I felt shaky inside that entire day. But then once I saw that and just was hearing, you know, the name Dollinger, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that voice. You know, guys, like it was tough. It was a tough day, but also I've never felt more proud or more safe in this community. I just, you know, I think, Peters, you just said you're in awe. I think that's the word. I mean, there's really no other word for it. I'm just so proud of our first responders and grateful for them. And it's been a week. I mean, it was a rough week, and for me, it's nothing compared to what it was for everyone else. I'm just so grateful. Then I guess moving on to completely unrelated things, we've been working here to get a Main Street Ohio coalition going to revitalize our downtown area. And this week there is a conference in Canton that several community members will be attending. So I'm really excited about that. We're identifying some stakeholders. We've had some meetings, and for anyone who's not familiar with Main Street Ohio, it's a program that the focus is on Main Street revitalization, but it has 4 pillars that guide that. And those are economic vitality, design, promotion, and organization. So we're just in the very, very beginning stages of that, but I wanted to mention it because that conference is this week, and hopefully we'll come away with some good information from that. And that's all.
Okay, thank you. It's always challenging to go at the end. I keep saying that, but it really is. But some words that stuck out for the first responders, it is you're in awe when you see the graphics and what comes on TV. And the way that our team responded. And you're grateful. I think that was what really struck me, is the team that we have put in place. And I thank administration for doing that, for the people that they chose and who they hired, and when you were hired, and the reorganization of the fire station last year, and keeping dispatch. All of those pieces come together and enabled you to do what you did in the best way that you could do that. And so as a city, we are safe and we are grateful. And I so appreciated too that you mentioned all the other departments that came to us because they respect us, they trust us, they know that we don't have to go it alone. And I know that we would do that for them in an instant as well. And when Catherine and I were with the fire department this year, we saw that firsthand. There was a fire in the community, and the amount of people that came from all over. And it's such a safe feeling to know that. And to, I think when he mentioned, we had 2 ambulances that were not available. If that had gone any differently, we needed to know that we had the resources there. And they made sure of that. And that's that reciprocity that we work with each other, and that sharing of services that is so important. So thank you for mentioning that too, and that collaboration and the SWAT team. And I love that you've invested your team members in SWAT. That isn't something that everybody has to do. And you don't have to say yes to those requests. So thank you, for doing that. So everybody else has said enough, but we're grateful. And just thank you for keeping everybody safe. The alerts. So I got a couple messages, during that time, what's going on. The last thing I'm going to do is call you. You are in a crisis situation. You are being bombarded with calls. My alerts did that job. It kept me informed. It gave me the press release. It told me what was going on. You are not my person, that I should go to at that minute. I needed to give you that time to handle what you needed to do. And you were actually all in Columbus. So you trusted your force to do what they needed.
And they were communicating with me.
But you two were maybe communicating, but you even weren't blowing up his phone because you trusted him to do his job. We trust you to do your job. And that's why those alerts are so important. And they give everything from the LEAF program to road closings to what was happening at that moment. When one side was safe, when the whole building was safe, when things weren't, open. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate that you were actually on that and telling the community. So go to that site and sign up for those alerts. Those are very, very important. Main Street, Ohio, I want to thank Christina for really getting that together. We had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and truly the people that you put in that room and thinking about what we can do for Main Street is it's a really cool process, and it could be dramatic to what our North Canton can look like. So thank you for doing that and for keeping that spearheaded. Thank you to Finance for keeping I appreciate that. And Catherine, they said it right. You do say things succinctly and to the point, just as you did tonight with explaining how the park project and what that looks like. And I really think all of our team members do a really good job of that. When everybody speaks, it's a very succinct, orderly fashion. So thank you to everybody for that. Okay, and with that, final call for new business. All right, seeing none, we will have on October 20, committee of the whole meeting. On October 27th, council meeting when the public speaks, and then November 3rd, there is no. With that, I have a motion to adjourn.